out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast. I'm here with my boy Jeremy. We're to present you our NBA morning shoot around for Saturday, April 6th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below so you can watch all of our NBA, MLB, and NFL videos. If you haven't come and checked out the website at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily Fanduel, and Draftkings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure to come check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So, hey, what up, Jeremy? How you doing, bro?
Yo, what's up, man? This is a monster slate.
Hey, definitely, man. Like you said, it's gonna be a whole probably 9-minute long video, but hey, it is what it is, man. Hey, we're gonna get it in real quick, you know. Yeah, man. So, hey, good night tonight in the MLB. NBA was crazy, crazy high scoring. Did pretty well in GPP. Cashline just missed on FanDuel, hit DraftKings. Hey, overall, it was a good night, man. So, yeah, man, how'd you do tonight?
Today was a crazy day because I actually pretty much made a couple $100, and that was it. And it's always nice to make a couple $100, but I think my total exposure today was around 1,500. Max entering the early and the main MLB $4.44 tournaments. Was in first for a while in the early with Tampa Bay. Not a lot of people stacked up Tampa Bay, but I just couldn't really pair it with the right guys. So I did fairly well, man, but it was just a couple $100 profit day. We're moving on to tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. So, man, hey, let's just jump into it and get it done, man. So, first game, we're going to go with, actually, real quick before we jump into that, if you guys don't mind, please take that quick second, click the like button down below. Helps me out. Really, really appreciate that from you guys. Yeah, man. So, the first game we're going to go with is going to be the Brooklyn Nets going into Milwaukee to face the Bucks. This game has a 226.5 over under, and Milwaukee's favored by 8.5 in this one.
Yeah, so real quick, one of the things that we talked a lot about last night was the implications of the East playoff-wise. The West is solidified. The 8 teams that are in, they're in. It's just a matter of guys, teams can move seed-wise. But Orlando jumps from 8 to 6 tonight. With Detroit does find themselves all the way down as the 8 seed now, and they were the 6. So this is a huge game for Brooklyn because in front of them it is, let me just pop this really quick and just make sure I know what I'm talking about. But in front of them is Orlando at 40-40 with the 6 seed. They're 39-40, Detroit 39-40, and then Miami at 38-41. So this is a huge game for Brooklyn. I mean, Brooklyn can move up here to the 6. I think they were the 6, and they got leapfrogged today by Orlando. So look, D'Angelo Russell, 9,000. You have to like him in the spot. DeMar Carroll at 4.6, I think, is a very fair price. Jarrett Allen, a guy we've taken centers against Milwaukee pretty much all year. We've played centers. He's not a great scorer by any means, but he can get you 50 fantasy points on any given night. It's not like it's a predictable thing, matchup based, whatever. It's kind of just what he's done a few times this year. But is it there? Yes, it is. This is a huge game for Brooklyn. That's kind of where I'm at. Spencer Dinwiddie's another guy at 5.2. I think you can look to get exposure to, but on a 2-game slate, I mean, you have to go pretty deep here. So, you could say all 5 starters are in play, and then also take a look at a Spencer Dinwiddie as well.
Yeah, I mean, we like targeting Bucks all year. Up-tempo game, and then you got Milwaukee, a really good team. They got Brogdon out, they got Mirotic out, so they play their guys a lot of minutes. I mean, you can play all of them. Obviously, the 3 guys that are the best plays on them. It's going to be Giannis, Bledsoe, Middleton. Those are the best 3 players on the team. They're always in play. I really, really like Middleton's price tag here at 6.9. I think he's a very good play. I don't recommend playing cash games on a 2-game slate, but if you were, I think he's a good play. And then Brook Lopez. We've been playing centers against Nets all year. Brook Lopez, I don't necessarily like playing him, but I mean, we got an extremely small slate, and we're gonna have to pick a center, and we like centers against Brooklyn. So I'm just gonna kind of keep that at that. And Sterling Brown, he's a guy that he's been in that start lineup, and he's been getting a bunch of minutes, and he's producing. 3 straight games, he played at least 33 minutes, and he's got 23, 25, and he showed us upside with the 49 fantasy point game against Atlanta. So I think he is in play. Outside of the starting lineup, the guy that I think that you really just target on the bench is going to be Pat Connaughton. This guy's playing about 30 minutes a game, and yes, he is a little bit up and down, but the minutes are there. Like I said, right around 30 minutes. And, in 3 of the past 5 games, he's got your 31 fantasy points. So he's showing you a little bit of upside. So I like him as well. So I'm really just, like I said, the starters and then Connaughton off the bench. And that's really where I'm at with Milwaukee.
I did miss Karis LeVert. I did forget to mention Karis LeVert, but it's a guy that I do have to mention at 6.1, 27.4 minutes. He's had a couple of really nice games, kind of, in the 30 fantasy point range, and then he laid an egg. But 27.4 minutes, 15.2 points over his last 5 games at 6.1. This is a good spot for him too. He's got this bench role he's coming off of, so I do like LeVert as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. LeVert's a guy that whenever the Nets are in play, that he's a guy in play because he does have some upside. Moving up, last game that we're going to talk about quickly is going to be the Philadelphia 76ers going into Chicago to face the Bulls. We don't have an over-under on this one, but Philadelphia is favored by 9.5 in this one.
I don't know if Embiid plays here. I look at the standings over here, and they have a half-game lead over Boston, or a 1.5 game lead over Boston. It doesn't mean anything, right? I mean, if they lose this game, then it's a 1-game lead over Boston, and then they both got a couple games left. So I don't know what they gain here, right, by pushing Embiid with his overall general body soreness, and Jimmy Butler's got back soreness. So, Jimmy Butler's a guy I could see possibly playing. I know there's a little bit of a narrative there. People would like to play that narrative at 7.9, especially without a Joel Embiid, but he's missed 2 straight games with back soreness. You just got to kind of wait and see what happens here. I could totally see Ben Simmons being a lock, obviously, on a 2-game slate. If Embiid and Butler are going to be out, you just lock in Ben Simmons and you lock in Tobias Harris and JJ Redick at your core, and you just kind of move on and build out the rest of your lineup. But if these guys do play, I just can't see this game being close enough to where Joel Embiid and Jimmy Butler, if they do play, will play enough minutes. And if they do play, I can't see this game being close enough for long enough to where it's really going to matter. Now, granted, it's a 2-game slate, so do you have to get exposure somewhere? Yeah, you probably do. I would look at Mike Scott again, man. The guy's going to get run. I don't think people are looking to just load him up, but he's not far from getting you 6x on his price tag.
On the Bulls side of things, Brook Lopez, 5,300. He's not a guy that you're ever excited about playing, but he's a guy that basically gives you 5x pretty much any night. Bulls are very, very short-handed, so the guys are playing a bunch of minutes. Shaquille Harrison, 7,000. I never would, think that I would be paying 7,000 for him, but he's a guy that's been playing very well in that starter role. He's been consistent. He's giving you a solid floor. In the past 7 games, he's got you at least 25 fantasy points, and he has 40 fantasy point upside. Like I said, small slate. We got to look somewhere. I think that he is in play. Louis, how do you say it? Lua Cabaret? Man, 4,100. If he's going to get a bunch of minutes, you can, I guess, consider him as a GPP play. He's probably not going to be my favorite low-end guy to pay up for. A guy that I think that I like a little bit more, especially if Wade Selden's out. I think that we could see Ryan Arcidiacono, right?
Arcidiacono, yeah.
Arcidiacono, 3,700. If he's going to get some minutes, he's a guy that, he does a little bit of everything, fills up his stat sheet. So I definitely think that he's a guy you can look at if he's going to get some extended run with Wade Selden being out. So we got to kind of wait on that news. Outside of that, we've got a bunch of guys that are game time decisions. We just got to really wait, see what comes up tomorrow. One guy that's been playing very, very well, standing out, though, has been this guy, Jakar Sampson. The guy – he's probably not going to be very owned, but he's been playing very well, and I think that he's a solid play, 5,500. The minutes have been there. It's crazy, some of these guys that we're talking about, on the Bulls side of things, but, that's really where they're at right now. So we just got to wait on some news and kind of go from there tomorrow with the Bulls.
And go from there. It's such a shitty slate to even talk about. If you're playing this slate and not baseball tomorrow, I don't know what to tell you, man. You've got some serious issues with daily fantasy NBA. I would just avoid this slate altogether. Build a couple lineups, have some fun with it, move on with your day.
Yep, for sure. Hey, anyways, if we will tomorrow have some NBA content up for this slate. If you want to get a little bit more in-depth look, we got MLB up, NASCAR up, PGA. No, there's no MMA this week. Next week, the fight's next week, so we'll have some articles up for that as well. So hey, check out the site, man. DFS.
Hey, bro, and don't forget, next week is the Masters, and we have golf in the optimizer, baby. And there'll be a ton of golf content that we're going to put up next week for the Masters. So make sure you tune in for that. There'll be the free preview piece, which is the Tee to Green piece. And then there's going to be a bunch of stuff behind the member wall. So if you're playing the Masters and you need to optimize lineups, you need content on who to play, make sure you get that VIP membership before Wednesday for the Masters.
Yep, for sure. Hey, that's all that we got for you guys, man. Good luck on your guys' contest tomorrow. If you are playing NBA, and hey, good luck in MLB if you're playing MLB. Outside of that, peace out.